Welcome to the Jamali Method. You're here because you've heard about Eram Saeed, the founder of Jamali Love and the world's #1 coach for Muslim women entrepreneurs. From her global movement, her podcast appearances, or maybe you've seen her work highlighted in media outlets around the world. And now you're curious about how she's transforming the lives of millions of Muslim women by empowering them with a message of peace, prosperity, and personal freedom. Now, in this Jamali Method Masterclass, Eram is going to introduce you to the Jamali Method, a groundbreaking approach that has helped women step into leadership, reclaim their voice, and find purpose. And with a reach of over 23 million and a dedicated following of over 1 million, Eram's work is changing lives across the globe. And today she's going to walk you through how you can be part of this powerful movement and unlock a future of limitless potential. My name is Mike Koenigs, and I've had the privilege of working with Eram to learn more about her incredible journey and the impact she's having on the world. And we both belong to TLC, Transformational Leadership Council, with Jack Canfield. Welcome, Eram. What can we expect from you in this masterclass?
Hi, Mike. Thank you so much. I am super excited to be here today. We're going to talk about the Jamali Method today, Mike. It's a step-by-step system to help Muslim women achieve clarity, purpose, courage, confidence, connection, dignity, self-love, justice, abundance, leadership, freedom, and faith, and all of these while staying congruent with Islam. And I am also going to teach the different Jamali principles that have helped me through my life and my students. Now, I want to start off by telling you that this masterclass is for you if you are an intelligent, educated woman, you desire to learn more about self-development and inner strength, you realize that you are your biggest asset and you need to invest in yourself. You want to learn more about connection to Allah or the divine, you desire to be a strong and independent person with balance, and you value freedom and dignity. You like helping people. You don't want to live a life without having realized your true potential. You want purpose and passion, and you feel that you can have an impact in the world. And I want to also tell you very frankly that this is not for you if you are one of those people who blame others for their problems, or if you're a fundamentalist or extremely conservative Muslim, or people who have a poverty mindset, or if you're uncoachable, magic pill seekers who don't take action, or if you're an information hoarder who never applies what they learn, know-it-alls who aren't open to personal growth or new perspectives, cultural ostriches who refuse to adapt to a multicultural world, dogmatic thinkers who can't imagine blending Islamic values with personal development, or if you're broke, you have no job, no personal source of income or resources. So I want to begin with my story, Mike, if that's okay, because starting off, I did not know what Jamali was. You could say that I was living the life of a caged princess. My father was a general in the Pakistan Army, which meant that I would have a very kind of VIP lifestyle, very sheltered. I was raised with a lot of love, but because of the cultural oppression, I also had to suffer oppression. I, for example, knew growing up that I was pretty smart. I would get the highest marks in my class. My report card was always perfect. And I wanted to pursue a career, but I was told that I couldn't do that because my mom expected me to get married. By the age of 21, she thought I was already too old. And the only thing that was worthy of a daughter was not a degree or a career, but to get her married. So as you can see, this was the picture of my dad. He was a general in the army. And that's when I started to collect my first few Jamalis, which were of love, dignity, and justice. What I was told growing up was that your dreams don't matter. Even if you have a potential, it doesn't matter. Your talents don't matter. None of those things mattered. in the face of whether I was married or not. Being a good wife seems to be the only worthy goal that I could have. This is what I have called the achi syndrome, which basically means the good girl syndrome. All of women, Muslim women especially, women from the East, probably can relate to this, that you are just expected to be this achi this good girl. So be a good wife, be a good mother, and everything else does not matter. Your dreams don't matter. You don't matter. And for me, what I was told was that all of this was because of my religion, that this is how God wanted it to be, that there was no equality. You're born a female, now deal with it. And so obviously, what I started to do was I hated God because I thought this injustice was coming from God. So at the age of 18, I remember very clearly the day when I declared to God that I hated him and that there was nothing in this world that would make me love him ever. Boy, did that story change later. But coming back to my life in my 20s, what I decided, because I wanted to pursue a career, I really wanted to do MBA. I was told, no, you can't do it. So my next plan was to escape, to find my escape through marriage. This is when I was seeking the Jamali principle of freedom. And of all the proposals that I had, I did have an arranged marriage. So of different proposals that I had, the one I picked and rather insisted on was the guy who lived in Austin, Texas. So I could escape from Pakistan. I could escape from my life that I thought was oppressive so that I could live in Austin where, we have UT Austin. And I thought, yeah, yay, now I can do my MBA. Well, that didn't work out that way. As it turned out, my marriage was quite abusive. I was confused. What happens with most people when they have never been abused and they face abuse for the first time. In the beginning, I was just confused. I didn't know what to do. And then I had my beautiful daughter, my first daughter, Natasha. You can see her here, was extremely mischievous, a terror, really, at the age of 3 here in this picture. And so my life became, like for most women, all about, staying in the marriage for the sake of my daughter. My life revolved around taking care of Natasha and being a good mom and giving her the best possible life I could give her. And at that time, what I thought was that staying in this marriage with her dad was the best thing I could do for my daughter. And then one day, the abuse was rampant. It happened every day, but it didn't usually happen in front of Natasha until one day it did happen in front of Natasha. And that day I remember it was like a lightning struck me and I realized, oh my God, I am not staying in this marriage because I love my daughter. I'm staying in this marriage because I'm a coward. Because deep in my heart, I know that staying in this marriage and exposing my daughter to an environment which is toxic and not respectful towards a woman, her mother, is actually going to damage her for the rest of her life. And I'm going to raise a daughter who is also one day going to put up with abuse from a man because that's what she saw her mother do. That's what I'm teaching my daughter. And I could not stay in the marriage after that. So it was the fierce love for my daughter that gave me the courage to take the step where on my 30th birthday, I filed for divorce and I got out of that marriage. Now, the next 2 years were very tough because I had known nothing but how to be a housewife up until that point. And now suddenly I find myself in America, in Dallas, Texas, with my daughter, and no job experience either. And so I tried to figure out different things that I could do. This is where I picked up a couple of more Jamali principles, which were of confidence and abundance, as I eventually got a job with Chase Manhattan Mortgage, even though I had no experience with lending, and soon became the top lender for that branch. And that is what gave me the confidence and the courage. And eventually, I then remarried. And because I wanted to, again, give my daughter a stable home, a stable family, I wanted to raise her well. So I got married. Unfortunately, that marriage also turned out to be abusive, and that marriage also lasted about 7 years and ended in divorce. And during the marriage, I was blessed with a wonderful new baby girl, my second daughter, Dua. And now my life was about taking care of these two girls. This marriage, however, completely destroyed, this divorce destroyed everything I had. So now I was looking at bankruptcy, 4 different lawsuits while I was going through my divorce case as well. Um, Everything was destroyed. I had no money, no future. I didn't know what I was going to do. And my lending career had ended. We're talking about 2007 and 8 when all the lending institutions in the US had kind of gone belly up. And with it, my career of lending as well. And now looking back, I see what a blessing that was, because then after this, after the ending of this career, is when I started to actually align more and more with my purpose, which is another one of the Jamali principles that I gathered. This is when, after this particular ending of my career, I decided that I was going to launch an online telesummit, which gave me the opportunity to work with some of the top luminaries and teachers and healers from around the world. You can see here a picture of me sitting with Jack Canfield when he interviewed me. Jack Canfield being one of the most amazing teachers, one of the top teachers in the world. He is the Guinness Book of World Record holder for the number of New York Times best-selling books he has. I think he has a crazy number of maybe 150 New York Times best-selling books or something. And here you see me with a lot of other amazing luminaries and teachers from around the world. In the left, you see Chris Atwood and Janet Atwood, also co-authors of New York Times best-selling books. One of my dearest friends, my mentor, Chris, has been with me for over 10 years. And there are other all kinds of luminaries and teachers from around the world that I got a chance to work with and learn from. And soon my business crossed 7 figures. Within 1 year, I was making over $1 million in my business. And this is what eventually really aligned me with my purpose when I went from being a victim to a victor. And I want to share here what Chris said about me, as I was also a coach for entrepreneurs and online marketing for healers and speakers. And here Chris is sharing very kindly, I've known Eram Saeed for 10 years, and she has never ceased to blow me away with her ability to generate revenue out of nothing. And then, of course, this is from Jack Canfield, who said, Eram Saeed is a very dynamic and passionate woman. She's helped so many people make the journey from heartache to joy, and she's passionate and committed to making a difference. There are so many resources available, but Eram Saeeds are one of the best ones out there. I'm so humbled and honored for these words of kindness from Jack. And then Dan Kushel, one of the best business coach specialists out there. I got to know him when I was a member of the Genius Network. And Dan said, for 2 years, I've been watching Eram use her superpowers to help experts go beyond the plateau in which they are stuck. She is amazing. So basically, by this time, I was literally living it up. I had been able to achieve what I never thought was possible. You can see here in this picture, I am sitting. I was just being goofy that day. I had just bought my Tesla. And I want to share here, I was one of the first people in Texas to get a Tesla. People virtually did not know what Tesla was at that time, but I was so enamored by the whole concept and the romanticism of, Tesla. I got my Tesla, took this picture, and I'm parked in the driveway of my home, which was almost $1 million. I bought my car and my home almost 2 weeks apart. So for me, this was a day of huge accomplishment, because here I was just a few years ago, divorced, bankrupt, had no potential, no future, had a lot of anxiety, depression, trauma, all of those things, and 2 daughters that I had to take care of. And within a very short period of time, everything had turned around. And here I was in my $1 million home and my Tesla, basically living the American dream, right? Now, here is the thing, though. As I achieved all those things that I thought I had been dreaming about, that I thought, oh my God, I have fulfilled my dreams. Here's the secret that I want to share with you. What people didn't know was that deep inside, I was feeling very unfulfilled. And it didn't make any sense because I should be really happy after achieving all that I wanted to achieve. I was becoming famous. Why was this unfulfillment? And that's when I basically started to realize that fulfillment, deep fulfillment, comes from when you are actually on your purpose. And what basically happened was when the lockdown happened, the blessing for me was that one day as I was sitting and I was thinking, my daughters are still young. They don't have a lot of experience of practical life. What if I die? What if I die in this lockdown and then my daughters won't have their mother to advise them if they ever needed advice? So based on that, I started to make some videos to help other women get unstuck from their lives. In my mind, thinking down the years, when my daughters need to get help, they'll have this content. What happened after that was truly amazing. And that's when you know you're on purpose. My videos went viral overnight. It was as if I had become this overnight sensation in Pakistan. Hundreds of millions of views, millions of followers across different platforms. It was as if this phenomena had its life of its own. And then I decided it was time to create what I then called the Eagle Tribe. That was, I launched it with my daughter, Natasha. And this is when I was able to pick up the Jamali principle of leadership, another one of the Jamali principles I'm going to talk about. I can tell you honestly that the most fulfilling day from my life was, I'm going to share this picture with you guys, when I turned 50. This picture is of my 50th birthday, which Natasha on that day had thrown me a surprise birthday party. I was not expecting it at all. And she had invited my closest friends, my dearest cousins, my family, everybody that I loved was there at that time. I was surrounded by people that I love. And if that wasn't enough, I really broke down and cried when I saw what Natasha had posted on her Instagram that day. And I would like to read this to you. She said, "Today is my amazing mother's 50th birthday. Over the past decade, she has truly been the person I aspire to be. She went through hell and back to give us the best life and has shown me what it truly means to be a strong woman. It takes an enormous amount of courage to be as bold and kind-hearted as she is on a daily basis. It takes even more courage to overcome the adversities she faced and to sacrifice everything she had to do for her daughters. I hope in the next decade and the years to come, her guidance reaches the masses more than she could dream of. And trust me, she dreams big and does everything in her power to make those dreams come true. Thanks for being pretty cool, mommy." This is truly when I felt so fulfilled. And I can share with you guys here, you can see Natasha. She's now my brand manager because she's really good at marketing. She's also an executive coach in my company. And you see this picture here of Natasha delivering one of her talks. And as a mother, I cannot tell you the kind of fulfillment this brings to me. Watching my girl, if you remember the picture I shared with you when she's about to squish the baby kitten when she was just 3.5 years old, and how that Iram, who was so confused, who did not know if she was taking the right decision or not, to fight against her oppression, to pursue the life of her dreams. But the only thing that was guiding her was the fierce love that she had for her daughter. But I didn't really know how Natasha was going to turn out. I went with faith. And here we are today. That same daughter is someone I am so proud of, both of my daughters. But Natasha is now helping me impact the lives of so many other women that she's touching and she's teaching and through our courses together. So Jamali life it is comprised of 3 different levels that you can work with us. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we continue. It's Jamali freedom, Jamali purpose, and Jamali leadership. And each of these will give you different Jamali principles through which you can create your life that is a Jamali life. For example, Jamali freedom has, you can find clarity, confidence, and independence. With Jamali purpose, you find your full expression and the purpose that I was talking about. And then through Jamali leadership, this is where you become fully integrated, refreshed, reinvented, and you can restart. So my purpose in life now is to create a Jamali movement because I believe that Muslim women are going to change the world. I truly believe that with every fiber of my being, because there are almost 1 billion of us on the planet. By 2026, we will surpass 1 billion. Muslim women now represent a $1 trillion industry. This is totally unserved and untapped. And most Muslim women have not been able to take off the chains of oppression that had been placed on them through their culture, through their family, through their circumstances. But once they throw those chains off, the sky is the limit. And through the impact they're going to have, they're going to change the world. Now, I would like to share with you guys what I encounter. I have worked with thousands of women since I have been coaching the Jamali Method and have been able to impact the lives of many women. Thousands of lives have been transformed. However, I can tell you some of the most common pain points that I encounter from women when they come to work with me. Number one, they feel oppressed. Maybe you feel lack of confidence and clarity. Maybe you have been made to feel less than a man or men in general. Maybe you felt helpless and hopeless, overwhelmed and anxious. Maybe you feel lonely. Do you feel undervalued or held back? Have you already resigned to the fact that you're never going to have an impact? Don't do that because you can. And maybe you feel unfulfilled. And of course, my favorite one, the Achi Bachi syndrome, be a good girl. It's as if you are placed on this planet to continuously please and meet the validations of other people and to hell with your dreams and what you desire to achieve in life. So I would like to share a couple of stories with you of my amazing Eagle Tribe members and my students. So the first one is of Roma. Now, Roma is an amazing young woman. She lives in New York. She's actually a scientist and has such amazing potential. She's brilliant. She's filled with love. However, when she first met me, she was lost. She felt confused. She was conflicted about her Eastern identity and how to align that with her Western life, because she had all these dreams and desires. As I said, she's a forensic scientist, but she felt that no matter what she achieved, the fancy degree, the fancy career, the great income, even with all of that, she felt invalidated because she was consistently being given the feedback that, of course, none of this matters as much as the fact that you're unmarried. And until you're married, you're a failure. So that's what the message that she kept getting. And after working with me, her breakthroughs, the Jamali breakthroughs, were through love and connection. Once she understood that the only validation she truly needed was her own, and that whatever she desired, her dreams, were actually validated because of the mere fact that they existed, that God would not have put them in her if that's not the potential that God placed in her. So what she eventually had was clarity, purpose, self-love, and most beautifully, she fell in love with the most important person in her life, which was herself. And that led her to a beautiful connection with Allah, and she calls Allah her best friend now. The next story I want to share with you guys is so exciting, and it is so dear to my heart because this is about Ramsha Sultan. Ramsha now is an influencer. She has millions of followers. She's based in India and Australia. She's originally from India, but she lives in Australia, and she has a lot of followers, young women who are from India, both Muslims or non-Muslims. And a firecracker filled with, potential and ambition. However, when she first came to me and took my course, she was facing a lot of unhealed trauma. She felt like she was a victim, and she was held captive by her own belief system. The Jamali breakthrough that she had was that of freedom. And I want to read her comment here that she said, I love Iram's course because it's a perfect amalgamation of Islam and psychology. It will be the best experience of your life. Now, as you can see, Ramsha, some people wonder if I only work with women who do not observe hijab, but Ramsha does observe hijab, and you'll see that I have students who observe niqab as well. That doesn't matter as long as it's a woman's choice. We totally love and accept and welcome that. So what Ramsha had was lack of freedom was coming not from her external circumstances, but her internal self. Her belief system was her oppression. It was holding her back. And what she acquired through my course was a completely different mindset that helped her to take her power back. And she evolved from being a victim to becoming a victor. And why this story is so near and dear to my heart, because first of all, she's a young woman who's impacting the lives of so many other young women, but also because Ramsha recently gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. And now, because she's a victor, her mindset has completely changed. She is going to raise her daughter to be a strong, independent Muslim woman who is going to be a great citizen of the world. So this is a story that really, really, makes me smile. The other story I want to share with you guys, oh my God, this is so beautiful too. And I think a lot of you will be able to connect with this one because this is the story of Saima. Now, Saima, again, she was, the issues she was facing was she had no job. She had made poor career choices because no matter what career she chose, she would eventually leave it because she felt so unfulfilled and unhappy. She had a lot of self-doubt, and she had a lot of fear from her trauma, which was, again, she was consistently told in her life that you don't matter. Your dreams don't matter. Your goals don't matter. And one of the things that was so painful for her was that she is gifted with a beautiful voice. She's an amazing singer, and her voice is the kind of voice that touches your soul, that stirs your soul. So here she is, born with this incredible gift, and she was consistently told that you don't matter. It doesn't matter that you have this talent. And actually, sometimes she was even told that it would be sinful. It would be so wrong for you to be a singer because, it's against Islam. And I'm sure you must have heard this. And when she came to me, her breakthrough Jamali principles were confidence and purpose. And what I helped her to learn, again, that it is not a coincidence that God has given you the talents that he has given you. Why would he give you a talent if he was just going to waste it? God doesn't work that way, and it's not justice. God is very just. So if you have a talent and it is part of your purpose, if it's part of your passions, you're passionate about singing, you will not be satisfied ever unless you pursue your passion, because your passion comes from your soul. And that this is all a lie. Islam does not forbid from pursuing any of the arts as long as you stay within the boundaries that Islam dictates. I've done a lot of research on this. So when she learned that, it was as if somebody was finally telling her that she could step out of this cage that she had always been in. So she started singing, and she realized that she could actually charge money. She could do concerts. She started getting booked for different singing gigs. Now she loved doing what she was doing because this was her passion. And she found clarity and confidence and purpose. And what happened was also she was able to actually heal a lot of her relationships. Her relationships started to heal and improve, which is one of the things that happens when you do inner healing work. And she was able to maintain healthy boundaries with people who were not very respectful of her. And literally, we can say that she found her voice, right? So what she learned was having that faith that your purpose is part of your soul blueprint, and your passion is not a coincidence. So she's very happily pursuing her passion in singing now. And now I want to talk about one of my favorite stories, which is Sundila. As you can see, Sundila observes full niqab. She is a bright, brilliant young woman with a fantastic career in Pakistan, and she has everything going for her. However, when she found me, when I started working with her, she had a lot of anger inside of her. And it was as if she was blaming the whole world for her problems, which seemed very valid because she had been held back in many ways. She did not have a lot of male, masculine support in her life. So she had had to be a man in many ways. And what I taught her, what I realized was that when a woman has to be this masculine energy in her life for a long period of time, Allah hasn't designed us to be that way. But when she has to do that, what that creates is a lot of resentment, which then becomes anger. So I told her, I'm not surprised you're feeling all of those things. And what we need to do, first of all, is to help you get the freedom by actually aligning with your beautiful divine feminine energy. So I realized that with Sundila, this could be one of those biggest breakthroughs for her. And when she aligned with that divine feminine energy, it was so funny that angry girl converted to this girl who was just giggling and smiling all the time. What she learned from me was that feminine energy is not weak. It is actually very powerful. And for a woman, our power actually is when we are grounded in our feminine energy. So she was able to overcome her insecurities. She has been able to reach her potential and is becoming a leader in her own field. And what she learned was that the freedom that you crave can only be given to you by yourself. I want to share another really wonderful story, which is of Zara. Now, Zara's story is so near and dear to me because Zara is the daughter of my right-hand person, my from day one since I started my online business, she's been my amazing strength. Nyla, who has been working for me since I started my online business. Now, Nyla also had two daughters, just like I did. And I kind of watched her daughters grow up as she watched my daughters grow up. So Zara is her daughter. And when she started working with me in these courses in the Jamali Method, she was confused. She also lacked self-confidence. And the biggest problem she had was that she didn't have a sense of purpose in her life. And this was really creating a lot of unrest and unhappiness in her life. And her breakthrough was through the Jamali principles of self-dignity and purpose. She was able to find her inner strength, her self-confidence, and now she has started her own business. She has passion, she's living on purpose, and accepting that one's own self is just the way that you are. A lot of times you don't have to do much else. And I want to share with you guys the story of one of my favorite students, Deepal Shah. She's an amazing energy healer. Now, when she came to work with me, it's very interesting. Deepal was a scientist with a degree in chemistry, but what she always wanted to be secretly was an energy healer. So she knew that was her calling, but it was really hard for her to kind of come out of the closet because, she had been a scientist, and this is totally opposite of science. This is in the woo-woo world. But this was her calling, and she really was an amazing energy healer. So when she met me, that's what she was going through, and she was not well known. Nobody knew about her, and she wanted to have an online business as an energy healer. So I came into my coaching practice for entrepreneurs and people who want to become speakers and healers and online business. And after working with me, she learned about aligning wealth and purpose to create extraordinary outcomes and was able to launch a business that has become a six-figure business and now is actually multiple six-figure business. She's a well-known healer now online and has a lot of clients that she has helped, literally thousands of people that she has helped heal. And her Jamali principles were passion, purpose, and financial independence. Now, I want to take you guys, I know we've talked about a lot of these stories. I want to, if there is one point that I really want to drive home, I really want you to understand this, is that a Muslim wife has agency over herself and has the right to separate property and income. This is actually Islam, that you have agency, you have autonomy, you have every right to pursue the life that you want to pursue. And actually, I would even say it's your duty, because if God has given you those talents, it is your duty to fulfill them and to maximize your potential. God would make that because he wants you to be financially independent. No empowerment can happen without financial independence. So, the summary of the different Jamali principles you learned today can be kind of summarized in these 5 main Jamali principles. The first one is Jamali mindset. Now, remember, everything is dependent on your mindset. Your perception does create your reality. So one of the first things that I teach is how to change the mindset that you have had so far. How to go from victim to victor starts with changing the mindset. When you have mastery over your mindset, you will have mastery over your life. So we begin with that. And the second principle we teach is the Jamali faith. Now, Jamali faith is very different from saying, oh yeah, I'm a Muslim, I have faith in Allah. I know all of us say that. But do you really have the kind of faith that it takes to change your life in the face of uncertainty, in the face of fear? Can you have that faith that is unshakable no matter what is going on around you? Well, let me tell you that it is very possible, and that's what my students are able to do with the Jamali faith. Then we move on to Jamali confidence. Once you have the Jamali mindset and the Jamali faith, then you're going to have the kind of confidence that is unshakable. It is not going to be dependent on your circumstances or what people are saying to you, how they are validating you, whether you're seen as an achi bachi or not. Your confidence is going to come from within. Nothing that happens on the outside will change your level of confidence, because you will always be grounded and rooted in the truth of who you are and the truth of being connected to the divine. Now, what that is going to do once you have these 3, it is going to introduce you to a kind of freedom that is not possible otherwise. You know, when a lot of people talk about freedom and freedom of Muslim women, I've shared with you guys that I had the kind of freedom that people dream about, literally living the American dream. And I felt deeply unfulfilled inside. And I realized that the kind of things that were creating my freedom, the luxury houses, luxury cars, all of those things were actually sometimes my masters. I was enslaved to them. True freedom, then I realized, comes from absolute submission to God. That is what is going to liberate you. So this is the kind of freedom most people on the planet never taste. That is the Jamali freedom. And then eventually all of this is going to align you to the final principle, which is Jamali purpose, which is being so aligned with God's will, being such a humble servant, a slave of Allah, that Allah's will is your will. And that is how you will be on purpose. I can tell you now that I have been through all of these, nothing gives you the kind of satisfaction and fulfillment like purpose does, because that's the reason why you were created. That's the reason why you were put on planet Earth. And once you find that and you are living it, there is nothing that compares to that. So these were the 5 principles that I wanted to share with you guys really quickly. And this is the Jamali Method. And now I would like to invite my friend Mike back again to see if he has any questions.
Hi, Aram. Well, I have something to share with our viewer, and that is, like you, there are 1.9 billion Muslims in the world. 953 million are female. And you, as women, represent a huge market and an important market to the Western world. And many Muslim women have professional jobs. And there are so many opportunities, But in the Western world, Muslims are often misunderstood. There's a lot of confusion about Muslims and Islam, especially in the United States and many parts of Europe. But what you teach is not only important, there are strengths in numbers, especially when there's a bridge that honors the best qualities of Islam. And what you do is you navigate a complex world of culture, religion, Westerners, Western values, and by understanding yourself and how you can comfortably live in these worlds simultaneously, you've brought yourself peace, you've brought your daughters peace, you've brought them abundance, freedom, and choice. And I know in knowing you that education and integration is power. And so for you watching right now, Eram has gone through so many cultural and economic challenges, and she's reached the other side. And what she can do is guide you through your challenges too, as she has with many other women and leaders, just like you, just like the people she talked about. So she's not only done it for herself, she's done it with her own daughters, including Natasha, who's involved in her business now. So think about it. What would your greatest dream come true be that Eram and Natasha and her team can guide you to and through? Whether that's freedom, clarity, confidence, independence, purpose, your full expression of self, whether it's leadership to be fully integrated and reinvent or restart yourself. Now, you know there are no guarantees in life, but there's one guarantee, and that is if you choose to do nothing, you'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be exactly where you are right now. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, but the other choice is to invest in your future self. So just imagine right now that we're meeting right back here today. You scheduled a date to meet with Eram. It could be a year from today or 3 years from today. What will have happened for you personally and professionally for you to feel and be happy with your progress? Now, what Eram knows and what you know is you are powerful and you deserve fulfillment and freedom. But what Eram is about to share with you is an opportunity, and that is to work with her daughter Natasha, and their team to guide you step by step to create the life you want for yourself, your family, and your legacy. So, Eram, will you share your system?
I would love to. Thank you, Mike. Yes, there are 3 levels at which you can work with Natasha and I. So the first one is Jamali Freedom, which is going to help you find clarity, confidence, independence. The next one is Jamali Purpose. This helps you to find your full expression and, like the word says, purpose. And then Jamali Leadership, which is how you become fully integrated, refresh, reinvent, or restart your life. Working together under the Jamali Method, Jamali Freedom, gain clarity, confidence, and independence. These are the first steps to freedom. This is where you begin. This is an exclusive bi-monthly group where you get mentoring from me and for 1 whole year. This is valued at $7,997. You also get many courses in the group that you have access to, again, for a year. These are life-changing courses. In them, the foundational course is 30 Days to Transformation. This is the course that has literally changed the lives of thousands of people, men and women, Muslims and non-Muslims. This was what I created with my almost 20 years in the transformation industry in the West, where I combined the Western mind sciences with the Islamic principles, and the results are truly extraordinary. It's one of the best courses that I have come across myself. I don't want to boast because I don't take credit for it. I give credit to Allah Ta'ala for this course. This is, in the past, has been sold for almost $2,000. It is included in Jamali Freedom. For free. Journey to Self-Discovery is another course that is included in there, almost $1,600. The Cure to Affairs is another $1,600, which was basically a course I created because I got a lot of requests from people, women who had been betrayed, or husbands who had been betrayed by their spouse having an affair, or somebody who is currently having an affair or addicted to affairs, what to do after an affair has taken place, how to heal from it and move forward stronger together in a marriage. or how to even prevent affair-proof your marriage. All of that is included in that course. Very, very popular, had great results. The other one is the power of focus, again, valued at almost $1,600. Enchanted Entrepreneur is another course because, as I said, I don't believe that, you need to have financial independence to actually have real independence. So Enchanted Entrepreneur is included in there. This is a course that is going to help you if you want to have an online business, if you want to have an online income, by tapping into various job opportunities that exist online. This is very important for women, especially if they are unable to actually go and get a job. It could be because their husband doesn't allow them, or their family doesn't allow them, or they have young children and they can't leave home. So this is a great opportunity for those kinds of women to get educated and figure out how to get a job online. The complete course is included in there. This is valued. In the past, it has been sold for almost $3,000. Effective Communication is another course that has gotten a lot of great feedback because relationships are going to be directly dependent upon your level, your ability to communicate. I have always said that, the longevity of a marriage or any relationship is going to be directly proportional to the people or the couple's ability to resolve conflict. And you can't resolve conflict without effective communication. So that course is also included in there, was sold for almost $2,000 in the past, but it is at the moment included in free with Jamali Freedom. And last but not least, something that I really can't put any value on, and that is a community of like-minded women who are committed to their growth. Because this is that one thing that everybody had been talking about in the past, the one pain point, which was that you feel lonely. You're different. You don't think like the other women. You don't want a mediocre life. You want something more, but you are the only one that who thinks that way. So you feel like something is wrong with you, that you're broken. And yet, when you come into this community, you will find lots and lots of women who are just like you. I have seen some of the most beautiful friendships that have evolved from these groups, and now they are lifelong friends. They will remain friends forever. So this is also included in Jamali Freedom. So the total value of everything Jamali Freedom plus all the bonuses that I just mentioned is close to $20,000. However, if you go to jamali.love/freedom right now, I have really slashed the price down. You can get it for a fraction of that price, but I do want to tell you that we are constantly improving our products, and with that, the price also goes up. So this price is for a limited time only. If there's a timer on your screen, please look at that. That's when the offer expires. So go there right now. And you will also get an opportunity to talk to one of the assistant coaches to find out if you have any other questions. So go there right now, jamali.love/freedom. Now, next is Jamali Purpose. This is when you find your full expression and your inner self. So what you will be able to get in Jamali Purpose is to find and manifesting your purpose. This is a group coaching, which is of 6 months. You will get 2 group coaching sessions a month. You will have a chance to be in the hot seat to work with me, a community to connect with like-minded women. You will get 6 personality tests, including the passion test. And then what we will do is we will combine all of those tests and actually give you a summary, which is going to give you crystal clear clarity about what your innate strengths and abilities are. What areas of life should you be focusing on as far as pursuing an education, pursuing a career? Because here's the thing, what I have learned is when you focus on what your innate abilities and strengths are, which is usually also your passions, work doesn't seem like work. I get a lot of times the comment that I can't believe I get paid to do this because I would have loved to do this anyway without getting paid. That's the beauty of working in an area which is aligned with your innate abilities, your genius, your zone, your strengths, your passions. So this test is going to help you get clarity about all of that. You will also get monthly trainings for you, and you will get blueprints, tools, and resources. You will also get access to Jamali Love experiences that we hold from time to time. If you want to get more information on that, please go to jamali.love/purpose. And this level of coaching is for people who are truly interested in leadership. This is where you can become fully integrated with who you are, your true purpose, your passions. You become totally aligned with whatever you were supposed to do on this planet. This is where you become refreshed. You can also reinvent yourself or get restarted in life. This is where I'm looking for women who are leaders, who are going to, with me, help me change the world. These are the Muslim women who are going to change the world. So what you get is everything in Jamali Purpose and Jamali Freedom, but you get it faster and with customized attention from me. Because the program is 365 days. So it's a year-long program. I spent close to 10 years in a mentorship program with Chris and other luminaries from around the world. So add another 5 years to that. So 15 to 20 years where I was, learning through trial and error and learning from my mistakes and moving forward. And I have condensed that down to a year because the reason is, as I shared with you, I'm hoping to start a movement of Muslim women who are going to change the world. We don't have 10 or 20 years. I'm frankly too old for that. And I like to do things faster. I like to boil it down to a formula. Let's get this done. Let's condense whatever I have learned in 15 to 20 years into 1 year and get you all the tools that you need to be living on purpose and to be that change maker and have that impact in the world. So what you will get is 3 Zoom meetings every month, plus 1 optional emergency call. You will get WhatsApp access to me directly. You will get 2 in-person meetings with me in a kind of a retreat style that we will do for about 3 to 5 days. You will also get energy healing from me to clear your blocks and trapped emotions and release trauma. Because as you've probably heard by now, a lot of times what is holding us back is not an external circumstance, but our own belief system, our own unhealed trauma, and what we keep saying to ourselves, the fears which cause lack of confidence. So for all of that, one of the most effective tools is energy healing. And I know how to get you out of those blocks and heal that trauma. You will also get monthly trainings. You will get blueprints, tools, and resources, and you will get access to our Jamali Love experiences. So this is for the women who want to change the world. And you will get VIP access to all the programs in Jamali Purpose and Jamali Freedom. So if you want to get more information here, you want to talk to one of our coaches to see if this is the right fit for you, please go to jamali.love/leadership.
Okay, Eram, thank you, first of all. And I know, again, as a Westerner looking in, and I've had this opportunity to work with you, one of the great experiences I've had is just watching you as an entrepreneur develop, how much work you've done to connect yourself to bridge the gap, but also to bring your daughters into this world and navigate between multiple countries, multiple cultures, multiple religions, and integrate so well. I really believe that not only is this the future of women and entrepreneurship, but you represent a bridge between multiple worlds. And right now we need more people, more women who think like you, who are doing what you're doing to create more abundance and wealth. And what I'm curious about is, what are the reasons why some of the people that you've worked with haven't made a decision, haven't gotten involved? What's their resistance besides, I don't have the time or I don't have the money? How do you overcome those objections?
Well, yes, that is the most common objection is the money that I can't afford it. And what it usually means, Mike, is that They don't yet believe they're worthy of it. See, being raised in such an oppressive environment where you are constantly told that you don't matter, that your dreams are invalidated, your talents are invalidated. This is one of the hardest things for women to understand. And what I say to them is, when will you realize that you are your biggest asset? So, I'll see women investing in different, in clothes, in handbags, in shoes. That's a really big thing in our culture. We love to do all those things. But when I ask them, when are you going to realize that the only asset you should be investing in first and foremost is yourself? Then it's like a light bulb goes off. So that's like the first coaching is self-love. I am worthy of it. I deserve it. Because when your inner state changes, Mike, that's when your life is going to completely change.
Yes. And the one resource you will never get back is your time. We can't easily buy back anything. We can live under the illusion that we can buy our beauty back. Okay. But that's still time.
Yes.
And what is the value of your own children worth? And for them to observe you going through this, to have the self-respect, and what kind of values are you passing on to your children? And the world doesn't have time to wait any longer. This is a decision not only you're making for yourself, you're making it for your children, you're making it for your grandchildren. And the only real enemy humanity has is ignorance and running out of time. So this is one of those decisions that you need to make for you. And you can't escape the fact that now that this has been revealed to you, these messages have been revealed to you, these opportunities have been revealed to you, you can't unsee them, you can't unhear them. And now the only thing you have to get over is your own perception of your own self-worth, like you just said, Aram. So is there any other reason why someone might not make a decision and choose to move forward right now and today?
Well, just like what you said, time, it's if I had waited, if I had not done what I did back when Natasha was a young girl, I would have lost that time. And I also want to say, I know, Muslim women, just like other women, mothers, are very passionate about raising children that are going to be good kids, right? We Eastern people are known for that. And yet, what we always forget is that children do not learn from what we tell them. Children learn from how we are, who we be, right? How you are being or how you are doing life, how you are dealing with life is exactly what you're teaching them. And that is who they're going to become when they grow up. So if you want your children to be, worthy citizens of the world, you want them to be confident and happy. We know there's so much uncertainty going on in this world right now. They need these tools, but they're not going to get them from the colleges or the universities that they go to. You know that. They're only going to get them from their parents. The kind of programming that we as parents give our children is far more, far stronger than anything else they're going to learn in their lives. So yes, the time is now if you want to change not only your life, but impact the life of your children and the world eventually.
Completely agree. So I know, speaking for myself, being married to a remarkable woman who's made a huge impact in the world, you've made a huge impact in the world. The time for women is right now. The time for unified cultures and religion and mindsets is right now. And women are the bridge. I believe this training is the bridge to bring our worlds together. And I want to just share with you, watching and listening right now, Eram is the person you've been waiting for. She has the message you've been waiting for. She has the system you've been waiting for. And she's living the dream that I believe you are looking for and you want for you. So why not choose someone who can take you there and save you precious time and save you money? You can't afford not to make a decision right now and today.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yes, I'm honored and I agree with you. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be able to do this work. It is my passion, it is my purpose. Every single day I hear stories of transformation that truly bring tears to my eyes, but they're tears of joy.
Well, thank you for bringing Jamali love to the world, and let's share even more of it.
Thank you.